Hello and welcome back to our channel NPA Discovery, where we uncover the powerful, often heartbreaking truths behind Hollywood's brightest stars. If you love stories that go deeper than headlines and dive into the soul of fame, pain, and resilience, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button to keep these vital stories alive. Your support helps us keep telling them. Today's story is one that cuts deep. It's about Jonathan Brandis, a name you may know from his iconic 90s roles in the NeverEnding Story II or seaQuest DSV. But behind the boyish charm, piercing eyes, and endless fan letters was a young man slowly being swallowed by the very dream he was chasing. The title of today's video says it all: Jonathan Brandis, the teen star who lost himself to fame. And I want to say up front, I agree. Completely. This isn't just a story about a talented actor gone too soon. It's a cautionary tale about what happens when a child is placed in the gladiator arena of fame without armor, direction, or escape. Jonathan didn't lose to lack of talent. He lost to the relentless expectations of an industry that praises you when you're marketable, and forgets you the moment you're not. Let me take you back to where it all started. Jonathan Brandis was born in April 1976 in Danbury, Connecticut. From an early age, there was something undeniably striking about him. By 2 years old, he was already in print ads. Imagine that, not even potty trained, and already expected to pose, smile, and sell. By 4, he was doing television commercials. And not long after, he landed his first role on a soap opera, playing Kevin Buchanan on One Life to Live. His parents were supportive, but also ambitious. When they realized just how much potential Jonathan had, they uprooted the entire family and moved to Los Angeles. It was a gamble, one made not just with money, but with childhood. And at just 6 years old, Brandis entered the very adult world of auditions, agents, and showbiz expectations. Now, it's easy to say, well, he was successful. And yes, on paper he was. Guest roles on The Wonder Years, Full House, and more kept him visible and beloved, but there's something deeply unsettling about a child who knows how to take headshots before he knows how to ride a bike. And then came his breakout, The NeverEnding Story II, the next chapter. He was 13. Over 600 children auditioned. Jonathan got the lead. But success has a cost. Director George T. Miller, under pressure to complete the film quickly, imposed a tough rule: scenes could only be rehearsed once. Jonathan had to hit emotional beats, face multiple cameras at once, and make it all look effortless. And he did. The movie may not have performed spectacularly at the box office, but his performance shined through. That same year, he was cast as young Bill in the IT miniseries. Think about that. At 14, he's playing a stuttering, traumatized child in one of Stephen King's darkest tales. Now imagine being that young and carrying those roles. It's no wonder the line between acting and identity started to blur. That kind of pressure. It's not something most adults can handle, let alone a teenager. But Jonathan didn't stop. He couldn't. He was becoming a brand. A marketable teen heartthrob. And that brings us to seaQuest DSV, the show that changed everything. Brandis was cast as Lucas Wolenzak, a teenage genius aboard a high-tech submarine. The series had Steven Spielberg attached as executive producer. It was science fiction. It was bold. It was built to launch him into the stratosphere. And it did. So much so that teenage girls lined up outside the studio just to catch a glimpse of him. 3 security guards had to escort him off set. And he was receiving 4,000 fan letters per week. That kind of attention would be thrilling, and terrifying. Especially for someone whose real life had been so consumed by performance that he barely had one. In interviews, Jonathan admitted he never saw himself as a teen magazine kid. He just wanted to act. But the world had other plans. He was becoming a fantasy, not a person. And that's a dangerous place to live. Stay with us. Because in part 2, we'll look at how that fantasy began to crack, with heartbreak, career setbacks, and the kind of disillusionment number 20-something should ever have to face. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter of this deeply human story. After the skyrocketing popularity of seaQuest DSV, Brandis should have been riding high, and for a short time, he was. He had just turned 19, his face was on every magazine, and he was living the dream of millions. He even started dating the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air star Tatiana Ali, adding yet another layer of public fascination to his already buzzing life. But this dream had its dark edges. Jonathan had always been a private, polite soul. And while he appreciated his fans, the unrelenting attention and expectation started taking a toll. The couple had to endure paparazzi, jealous fans, and constant scrutiny, at an age when most people are just learning who they are. More troubling, the show that made him famous was falling apart. Behind the scenes of seaQuest, things were chaotic. Executive producers kept changing, cast members were rotated out, and the entire production moved across the country from Los Angeles to Orlando. Many stars left the show. Jonathan stayed. Why? Loyalty. Hope. Maybe because he had no backup plan. Maybe because, like many child actors, he didn't know how to be anything else. The producers even gave him a chance to write an episode, The Siamese Dream. It was an honor, but also a weight. He was trying to create meaning, to control something, anything. But the show was slipping. Ratings were falling. And NBC canceled seaQuest mid-season. Just like that, the project that had defined him was gone. Worse still, in 2002, Brandis got what seemed like a big break, a part in Heart's War, starring Bruce Willis. But when the film came out, his role was cut down to almost nothing, just a few seconds, tucked away in deleted scenes. Imagine that. You're clinging to hope, telling yourself, this is the one, only to be edited out like you were never there. He was spiraling. The industry he gave his life to was slowly erasing him. And the people closest to him began to notice. He started drinking heavily. He became anxious, worried, isolated. His friends tried to help, but Jonathan was quietly crumbling. In the next part, we'll look at his final audition, his final phone call, and the moment the world lost a star it didn't know was in trouble. In 2003, Jonathan secured a role on a promising television pilot called 111 Gramercy Park. On paper, it was his comeback. A fresh start. He starred alongside respected names like Tippi Hedren and Jaleel White. But behind the scenes, his anxiety was sky-high. Co-star Jaleel White later said Brandis couldn't stop asking if the show would be picked up. It was as if his entire future depended on it. It didn't help that the pilot went nowhere. Once again, Brandis found himself at a standstill. There was a bright spot. He'd filmed a movie called Puerto Vallarta Squeeze, playing a CIA hitman opposite Harvey Keitel. By all accounts, he was brilliant in it. Harvey Keitel reportedly told producers, "This kid is good." But it was too late. On November 11, 2003, just before midnight, friends found Jonathan unconscious in his Los Angeles apartment. He had taken his own life. He was rushed to the hospital, but he didn't survive. Jonathan Brandis died on November 12, 2003. He was just 27. His death shocked Hollywood. His seaQuest co-stars, ex-girlfriend Tatiana Ali, and childhood friend Soleil Moon Frye all expressed heartbreak. Soleil later included footage of Jonathan in her 2021 documentary Kid 90, immortalizing him once again as the sweet, searching young man he truly was. Jonathan's father, Greg Brandis, later said he believed undiagnosed bipolar disorder played a major role in his son's struggles. It's a sobering reminder that mental illness often hides in plain sight, and even those who seem to have it all can be fighting silent battles. Jonathan Brandis left behind a legacy that is both inspiring and haunting. He was immensely talented, deeply kind, and painfully vulnerable. And in telling his story, we hope to remind others that asking for help is not weakness, it is courage. If you or someone you know is struggling, please reach out. You are not alone. Thank you for watching. If Jonathan's story moved you, please share this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. It helps us honor the lives behind the headlines. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and each other.